Tell us who you are, where you are, and what does your protest sign say today? Oh, and of course, you on the internet, I know people are watching. You need to just go to the comment section and tell us, where are you and what does your protest sign say as well. You don't have to tell us your name because that's the thing about Facebook. It just pops up with your name on there. So that's easy. But I'm going to just say, I'm Aaron. I'm coming to you from Childsburg in Lexington. And my protest sign says today, there is no planet B.
Hey folks, this is Nate Orshan coming live from South Frankfurt, from Kitchen My Home. And today my protest sign is going to say, hey, General Assembly, try serving Kentuckians, not the Koch brothers.
Kimberly Cecil Jones here in Louisville, Kentucky, home of the Kentucky Derby, which is coming around pretty soon. So my protest sign says, Mitch, where's the $200 million for mental health? We know you haven't dished it out yet because we can tell by you haven't used it.
So what you're saying is that Mitch McConnell is showing signs of mental instability. Is that what you're getting at there, Kimberly?
I'm not a licensed therapist, nor am I a psychologist or psychiatrist, but just going by the old school way of my grandmother and great grandmother, he's a bit touched in the head, I would say.
I'm Ken Howe here on the north side of Lexington. I have a protest sign. On April 5th, 11 years ago, 29 miners died in an explosion. It's called the Upper Big Branch mine disaster. It happened because of negligence and cutting corners for profits. And it wasn't the first time or last disaster happened here in Kentucky, but the tragedies where worker safety was ignored. This is a mine site. The ground is packed solid, no trees grow, and the land is devastated. So my protest sign is, clean coal is a...
That's why we're the kernels of truth. We call out the lies. Clean coal is nothing but PR. Brought to you by Friends of Coal. All right, so let's get into it. Really excited to have this kind of focus on the environment and energy this week because there's just a lot going on right now, and this is an issue that we got to get right. And I think it's one that Kentucky has absolutely lagged on year in and year out, and we have not seen the necessary important leadership for our planet, for our ecosystem, for our communities. So first story of the week, we've got Kimberly on deck.
Thank you, Aaron. When I'm traveling Kentucky, I see lots of license plates that say basically Friends of Coal. But why? I'm always wondering, why do they even say that? It's so clear that coal doesn't really care about us. The black eyes of Blackjewel just don't stop for the 10th time in 6 years. A creek and road under a Blackjewel mine was washed out, cutting people off from town, groceries and hospitals, while also taking out their water lines. Harlan County got a horrible, no good, rotten neighbor in Blackjewel, who has again and again failed to properly reclaim its Forester's number 25 surface mine, which sits above the community of Wallace Creek. The county has needed to spend tens of thousands of dollars to clean up Blackjewel's mess again and again, with dozens of community members left stranded and hundreds left without reliable water. Of course, Blackjewel gained notoriety when they declared bankruptcy and clawed back workers' paychecks after they had been deposited. What creeps would do that, right? Then the workers then blocked train tracks to keep the coal they had mined and had not been paid for from making it to market, ultimately getting their paychecks and showcasing how poorly coal companies can treat their workers. The financial problems of the company continued, and bankruptcy courts let them walk away from cleanup obligations for dozens of mines. In 2019, it became clear that Blackjewel was not alone in failing to provide the bonds necessary to pay workers or clean up their environmental impact. And then Attorney General Andy Beshear at that time found that as many as 30 companies had failed to post a performance bond as required. Something that then Governor Matt Bevin had been working to end to make it easier for coal companies to walk away from their workers and environmental obligations. The financial requirements to clean up can be significant. In another new coal story, American Resources, or better known as the ARC, has agreed to pay $200,000 in fines and penalties to clean up a mine that was out of compliance. But that only came after regulators rejected efforts to restart the mine unless and until the penalties were paid. Without that threat, it's hard to hold the companies accountable if they decide there's no financial value in reopening mines. They are often allowed to walk away. Last month, Blackjewel was able to abandon 30 Kentucky mines in bankruptcy proceedings. As coal becomes less and less financially viable, it's really critical. And I want to say that one more time. It's really critical that regulators with the Kentucky Energy and Environmental Cabinet aggressively hold the companies accountable to their commitments and quickly move to utilize bonded resources.